In Terraria, no need to worry about several months to see each season. Just get yourself down to the snow biome, as it simply puts itself, also known as the tundra, is relevant to world generation for the most part, first entering your world. This is part of the series where I review certain aspects of Terraria, including its biomes. Currently I have a playlist of these documentary styled videos about this game, so go check them out. Now, where was I? The underground counterpart to this biome is called the ice biome, not underground snow or anything like that. They gave it a very specific name, the ice biome. However, on the surface, the biome ground consists of snow and ice blocks and boreal trees, but we'll get back to that later. When cut with an axe, they give boreal wood, which can be used to create the boreal wood furniture. Personally, my favorite wood set. However, the variation of the tree can vary. It can look very different, with the variation with pine trees, evergreen, or leafless, so it gives the effect of winter. Unlike the desert or the evil biomes such as the Crimson or Corruption, this biome isn't actually that hard for pre-hard mode, only consisting of a few types of enemies. However, the underground ice biome holds a level of challenge to it, being like its underground cavern counterparts. The water and the snow biome can also slow you down with the chill debuff, which will briefly slow you down. Your character will be slower for 5 seconds. So if trying to run away from a strong enemy, try avoiding water as it might get in your way. You can also find penguins wandering around everywhere. They don't really do anything, but they are pretty cute, and at least they don't attack you like vultures or tortoises or other animal enemies, because they have that passive AI. Although you can do some things with them, like making roasted bird or putting them in a penguin cage or statue, etc. Man, you can kind of be a jerk in this. If you've noticed, kind of like the demonized or zombies, there are variants for this creature as well. The logo of Snow title for Terraria is kind of weird, but I like it. It has snowflakes and a penguin roasting marshmallows. A lot of the biome-themed logos were updated, but the snow one has an unusual amount of extra detail to it. So I just thought I'd have to point that out. Some enemies you will find are the ice biome slime frozen zombie, which is like a regular zombie. During the blood moon, you can get evil variants of the penguins, such as the corrupt or vicious penguin, depending on which evil your world has. The Deerclops was a recently added boss that can be summoned during a blizzard at night, or with the deer thing crafted at a demon altar, and it's relatively simple crafting recipe too. The boss is another reference to the game Don't Starve, which is a part of Terraria and Don't Starve game crossover, which Don't Starve has the Eye of Cthulhu in it. Once you reach hard mode, there are 3 new enemies you can face. The ice elemental that summons at night will shoot frostbolt projectiles while it hovers over the player and has a chance to inflict the frostburn debuff. Another nighttime enemy is the wolf, which has a cool running animation. It has 300 health, which is quite a lot, and charges at your player, which deals a lot of knockback, kind of like the unicorn enemy from the Hollow. The Ice Golem is a rare enemy that only spawns in Blizzard at either day or night and has 4,000 health, which is a bit excessive. Like 4,000 health, seriously. It walks slow but shoots a frostbolt like the Ice Elemental, but can deal the freeze debuff for 45 seconds, just on regular mode. That's insane. It's one of the most annoying things about this enemy. In my own opinion, I think they need to actually do some reworking with this mini boss a bit because of these repetitive functions, especially when you get hit by it several times. It seems like 45 seconds is a lot and you could probably die. I don't know if that was the point, but anyways, moving on. To note, with the world generation, the biome was always on the same side as the dungeon. So if you're looking for it, just keep going in the same direction as the snow biome, whether it be left or right of the world. Now let's talk about the underground part of this biome. It starts at the cavern layer and ends at the lava zone near the underworld, but not quite. But the ice will then become stone at this point. Like the underground desert, the ice biome on this map has actually some unique features. Once revealing its entire surface area, it has a trapezoid shape to it, almost emerging out in one or both directions and becoming wider as it ascends downward, allowing for a larger surface area, and then cuts off once reaching the lava zone. The underground enemies are quite a challenge, like I mentioned earlier. Actually, most of the underground biomes are harder than their surface counterparts, just to add that extra level when going into the depths of this game. But there are a few exceptions. Pre-hard mode enemies you will find here is the Ice Bat, which inflicts the chilled debuff, slowing your player. The Snowflakes is an underground ice enemy which will bounce around like crazy when you hit it. It's also on the title that I showed you earlier. The Undead Viking has two variants but are pretty much fancy skeletons, but they jump higher and can drop their helmet. The Undead Miner is also like the skeleton but emits light. The Cyan Beetle is a beetle variant that is rare but has a 100% drop chance for its Cyan Husk, which is a dye item. For hard mode enemies, there are 5 that spawn in the underground snow biome, but I already mentioned the Ice Elemental. The Armored Viking is a stronger version of the Undead Viking and has more defense. Ice Tortoise, the same as regular asshole. Next. That's all I have to say about him. The Icy Merman is like the Salamander and reduces your speed in the same way as the chilled debuff. However, like the Ice Golem, it can inflict the frozen debuff, but only lasts for 2 seconds. See, this is what I meant. Thank God. In hard mode, it overlaps with the Evils or Hollowed. There are 3 variants of the Pigron for each of these infected areas, and their respective colors for them as well. The final and most rewarding enemy is the Ice Mimic. I normally don't mention the drops for enemies because that's a whole thing on its own, but I will for this enemy because that's kind of the point of it. It only drops 4 items, but they are really good and ice themed. First is the Frostbrand. Now this sword is a lot like the Ice Blade, shooting an ice projectile and doing around 50 damage at a fast speed, so it is a decent sword for early hard mode. The Ice Bow is a bow with almost a supernatural ability to it. It converts arrows into a frost arrow, which shoots at a higher speed and velocity, but for arrows that are converted lose their ability if used with the Ice Bow, so just keep that in mind. The Flower of Frost is like an elemental parallel of the Flower of Fire, but it is a little bit stronger, does about 60 damage, but bounces around in the same way as well. Anyways, that is all for this video. I enjoy making the thumbnail for this one. I mean, it's quite nice and, you know, I like getting creative with these. So if you enjoyed the video, consider liking and subscribing as it helps out my channel. If you dislike, that also helps out my channel as well. We also have a Discord server. I've mentioned that before, but you know, I just thought I'd bring that back up. Go check it out if you're interested. Other than that, I hope everyone here has a good rest of your day, and thank you all for watching. See ya.